Hello, hello, it's Monica from Crafting with Quilling Lady and welcome to my 7th day of Easter project. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to create an Easter bunny cut box with no cutting dice. If you like to make 3D projects or boxes, this video is for you. We're going to start with drawing our octagon and I'm going to show you step by step how to do it. I need a piece of cut and a pencil. I made a mark exactly in the middle. Now it is time to draw a straight line. When this is ready, I need a compass. Make sure it is nicely leveled. I'm going to put the sharp point in our mark, hold it at the top, and create 2 marks on our straight line. Now I'm going to open slightly wider, put the sharp point on our pencil mark, and create 1 curve at the top, 1 at the bottom, and exactly the same on the left hand side. Make sure the sharp point is exactly where your mark is. Now it is time to draw a straight line and we've got 4 90-degree angle lines. Super cool, right? Now I'm going to draw a circle and again I'm going to hold it at the very top. When this is ready, we actually have 4 points on our circle. I'm going to start with the left hand side. I'm going to put my compass here, open it slightly wider, and create a curve at the top and at the bottom. And then again from the left hand side, so at the top and at the bottom. You can always go back and make sure those points are going to meet. When they are ready, then we can join them with our ruler. Whenever you want to create a very straight line, you always need 3 points. That is what I learned in the primary school. So as you can see, this is ready. And now we're going to do it exactly the same on the right hand side. So in the end, we're going to have 8 sides. So I put my compass on our mark, then I'm going to create 2 curves. And the trick here, not to open it wider, because then we're going to have different measurements. So now we've got 8 sides and I'm going to use a ruler to join them. Super cool, right? And to do it, I've got 2 inches. I'm going to measure 2 inches. As you can see, I wrote it for you here. And I'm going to draw a circle, 2 inches. So when this is ready, it is actually 4 inches wide. Now I'm going to join the points. And it is super cool. And I'm going to show you the measurement here. So that side will measure 1.5 of an inch. So every single one will be 1.5 of an inch. So that is how we're going to create a template for our box. And as you can see, it is going to be a regular octagon. Have you ever created an octagonal box or different project? Please let me know in the comments down below. So when this is ready, it is time to cut it with scissors and it is super easy. And I'm going to keep that template for my future projects as well. And I do encourage you, whenever you create your projects, make sure you keep those templates because then you can use it to create different hard boxes. And I think this is super, super cool. Just make sure you've got all those lines very straight. And this is crucial whenever you create your templates. How often do you create boxes for your projects? If you do like it, I really hope you'll enjoy making this one with me. Now I'm going to trace it twice on white cut, and this one is 300 GSM. And then I'm going to do it again and cut it with my scissors. So when this is ready, I'm going to put one at the bottom and one at the top. You will see. So later on, I'm not going to have any flaps visible, which I think is really, really cool. So I'm trying to follow the pencil marks, and when this is ready, we are going to create a bottom for our heart. And as I told you, I'm not going to use any cutting dice, but I've got a trick and I'm going to show you, which is super, super simple. So as you can see, I'm just trying to make sure it is even on every single side. So it is 1.5. So now I need to create all those panels, right? So to do it, I need some card. Again, it is 300 GSM. I've got my panels here and it will measure 5 inches by 6.5. I'm going to score it at 1.5 all the way down, then 3 inches, 4.5 of an inch, and also 6 inches. So we're going to have a flap on the right hand side. I'm going to rotate it and create a 1/2 inch score line. Super quick and simple, right? And I need it again 5 inches by 6.5. Let's score it at 1.5, then 3 inches, 4.5 and 6 inches. So we've got the flap on the right hand side. It is time to rotate it and create a score line at 1/2 of an inch. Now it is time to make some notches with scissors. Super quick and simple. So if you do like making boxes, I really hope you'll feel inspired and craft along with me or create your own version. It doesn't have to be Easter, can be for any other occasion as well. And spoiler alert, there will be plenty of space for your sweets inside, or maybe something different. Now it will be time to fold and burnish all those score lines. If you haven't seen my other Easter projects, I do have a giveaway on my channel. If you want to get my colorful Easter collection, there are some rules, and I left them in the description down below as well. So rule number 1 is I need you to be a visible subscriber to my channel Crafting with Quilling Lady. Then I want you to watch and comment on all 10 days of Easter projects. Then you can choose any 7 tutorials on my channel. I want you to watch them and comment on them. Then download any free project from Buy Me a Coffee website, and I left the link. So now it is time to create the bottom of our hat. And I'm going to tell you about the rules later on as well. So I decided to have it at 8 inches. I'm going to use Made to Surprise Circle Cutter. I've got 300 GSM white multi-purpose card, and I'm going to create that big circle. So as you can see, I don't really need any cutting dies. I'm going to use a circle cutter. If you don't have it in your stash, it is a super useful tool. So now when this is ready, I decided to use that beautiful blue background from my colorful Easter collection. I'm going to change the measurement, make it slightly smaller, and create that element. And this way we're going to have lots of interest on our box, which I think is really cool. So now when this is ready, we can assemble them together. And to do it, I'm going to use my liquid glue. One and only liquid glue, because I will have time to maneuver all those elements. How often do you create boxes with circular shape? If you do have any tricks, please let me know in the comments down below. So now it will be time to create all those sides, and that will be the inside of the box. As you can see, I made a mistake, so I'm going to fold one of the panels again. I'm going to use my bond folder, which makes it super easy and quick, right? Now, when these panels are ready, it will be time to put them together using liquid glue. And to make it even easier to put it at the bottom of the hat, I'm going to put our octagon first. But I need to make sure that all those lines are ready. So when this is ready, I thought let's put it together first. And to do it, I'm going to glue it together. It might look a little bit flimsy, but do not worry, all the glue is going to set and the box will be professionally finished. So I'm putting the glue on all the flaps, and then I decided to put that octagon on top. But it was pretty tricky to do it, but there is always a way to do it. So as you can see, I'm putting the glue on that octagon first, and I decided to put it at the top. So now, the easiest way to do it is actually stick it to the bottom of the box. Now I'm going to glue all the sides we created. So as you can see, you just have to line it up with the octagon at the bottom. And then it is so easy. You probably can't see it here, but from the side you can, which I think is really cool. Then you can use your bond folder to press on all the flaps, which is really easy to do. So then when the glue is set, you can create the lid, and it is super easy to do it. So now it is time to do it. I'm going to use my scoring board again. So I've got 5.5 by 7 inches. And this time I'm going to move my cut to the very edge. I'm going to score at 1.5, turn that fold line to the very edge, and again 1.5 of an inch. And I'm going to repeat the process. So move it to the side, and then 1.5, and again 1.5. So we've got the flap. Now it is time to create that 1/2 inch score line for the bottom flap, and I'm going to do it again 5.5 by 7 inches to turn it to the left hand side all the way, and then score 1.5 of an inch. Put your cut on the edge of your scoring board and 1.5 of an inch. Super quick and simple, right? So as you can see, we're going to have 4 panels on each element. So I'm going to have that flap as well. So when this is ready, it is time to create all those notches and fold our scoring lines. So let's do it. And actually, using your scissors, it is super easy because you can clearly see all the scoring lines, which I think is really cool. And if you do like making boxes, I really hope you'll create this one. And to be honest, the lid is going to fit beautifully, but it's going to be a little bit loose. Not really loose, but just a tiny bit. So if you want, you don't have to move that cut all the way to the edge. You can do it halfway through the edge, and then I'm pretty sure the lid would fit perfectly. So when all those score lines are ready, I'm going to attach those 2 panels together. And as I told you, I've got a giveaway for you on my YouTube channel for my colorful Easter collection. And as I told you earlier, all the rules are in the description down below. And I told you about some of the videos, but the next rule is when you download the free project from Buy Me a Coffee website on the 10th day of Easter, I want you to leave the name of the project you downloaded. So this way I'm going to have your email address, and the deadline is the 15th of March. As you can see, I created 8 panels to decorate my sides, and it is 1.25 by 4.75 of an inch. And I used the green design paper from my colorful Easter collection. If you'd like to check all the collection, I also left the links in the description down below. Of course, if you haven't seen it earlier. And I do think all those design papers are perfect for literally any project. So if you like colors, this collection is for you. And I do think it is also perfect for springtime. And you can use those design papers to fussy cut the elements, but also die cut them as well. So now it is time to put those 2 sides together. It's always a good idea to use a liquid glue because then you do have time to maneuver all those elements. So it is time for our lid here, super quick. So first I'm going to check if it fits. And I'm very happy with it. So it is time to create the very top of the lid. Do you remember the template we created? So I'm going to check how is it going to fit. Obviously, it is slightly smaller because our lid is a little bit bigger. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to trace our octagon, and when I cut it, I'm going to make it slightly bigger. So I'm not going to cut it on my pencil marks. I'm just going to leave a tiny gap between the pencil mark and the cutting line. So this way it will fit perfectly. And do not worry about the pencil marks here on your octagons because we're going to cover them. So actually you don't really need to rub them out, which I think is really cool. As you can see, I'm really taking time to make sure that I cut the straight lines with my scissors. And I do think that good scissors is the best option to create boxes. So I'm going to use my liquid glue again and put the first octagon at the top. And then when I put it, it is always the easiest way to do it on a flat surface. So I'm going to remove our lid and put it on my glass mat. And I do encourage you to do exactly the same because then you can use your bond folder to push all those flaps. So now it is time to cover that. I'm going to put my liquid glue and put the other octagon inside. Really cool, right? So no one will ever see the pencil marks. When this is ready, our box is nearly completed. And at this point, I thought I really like it, but can I make it even more special? So I'm going to add another octagon at the top. I'm going to use my template again, use one of the blue design papers from my colorful Easter collection. I'm going to trace it, and this time I'm going to cut slightly smaller, which means I'm not going over the pencil mark. I just need to cut it slightly inside. Trust me, it will make sense. So when this is ready, then I'm going to put it on my box. And if you want, you can finish it here, so this way that box can be for any occasion. And I think you can also do some wedding favors with it as well. If you think it's a good idea, please let me know in the comments down below. And at this point, I thought I really want to turn it into Easter Bunny. So I've got some card, and I'm going to use my pencil to draw Easter Bunny ears. And when I'm happy with the shape, then I'm going to use it as a template. So as you can see, you can always erase your pencil marks. So now I'm going to fold it in half. Then I'm going to use my scissors and cut it out. Super cool, right? And this way, both ears will be exactly the same. And the trick here is to have a straight line at the very bottom. So it's going to be attached to the lid, which I think is really cool. When I'm happy with it, then I'm going to use an alcohol marker from my stash to add a little bit of color. If you want, you can also just leave it as it is, and it will be perfectly fine. However, I really wanted a little bit more color. So as you can see, it is very, very easy. So when this is ready, then I'm going to attach it to the lid. And to do it, again, I'm going to use my liquid glue. But if you want to use tape, that'll be perfectly fine. So I'm trying to put it on the sides. And I thought maybe like on the 2 and 3 side, but then I thought no, exactly at the front. And liquid glue is your best friend here because then you can maneuver the ears, which means they will be exactly there where you want them. So when this is ready, I thought I want to create a ribbon. I thought even if you use a satin ribbon, it won't be just perfect. So I decided to use Cut from Crafter's Companion, luxury mixed cardstock, glittering gold. I really like it, and it is double-sided, which is a bonus especially for today's project. So I'm going to cut it into 3/4 of an inch, and I'm going to just cover the very bottom. As you can see, I'm just pinching where the sides are, all the fold lines. And when this is ready, then I'm going to use my bone folder and actually make those lines very straight. So as you can see, you don't really need any very special tools to create this box. All you need is a ruler, pencil, scissors, and a compass. And of course, you need some glue as well to assemble the elements together. But then you can decorate it the way you want. And I think this is so cool. So now it will be time to assemble that gold ribbon at the bottom. And again, I'm going to use my liquid glue. And with this card, to be honest, it doesn't stick straight away. So just be patient. Make sure the glue is set before you move on. And I really wanted to create a bow exactly with the same colored card. And to be honest, it is super simple. As I said, you don't really need any cutting dice. I'm going to show you how to create your own template. So here, as you can see, those 12 inches didn't really match, so I needed to add one more panel just to cover it. And even then, it looks really cool. So now it is time to create our bow. I'm going to use exactly the same gold card from Crafter's Companion. So let's create a template first. I've got a scrap piece of white card. I'm going to fold it in half and draw literally half of a ribbon. Super easy, right? So I've got the wider element on the left and then very narrow on the right. When this is ready, then I'm going to use scissors to cut it. And to be honest, it doesn't have to be perfect. because even then, when you trace with your template, you can always make some adjustments. So actually, one of the sides is going to be slightly more flat, and it's going to work perfectly with the very bottom of the box. So now I'm going to use the same gold cardstock, and as I told you, it is double-sided, which actually works so well with this project. I'm going to use my pencil, then fussy cut it. And when this is ready, I'm going to erase the pencil marks, so no one will ever know that I didn't use a cutting die and I created the bow myself, which I think is really cool. So if you don't have any bow making cutting dies, yes, you can use that trick and create your own template. So then you can use it over and over again. Now it is time to curve that panel, and as you can see, it's a good idea to use your fingers. Now it is time for the other element and we can attach them together. And as I told you, with this card, you really have to wait a little bit longer for the glue to dry and set, but it is so worth it. So when this panel is ready and curved, I'm going to assemble them together. It's always a good idea to actually erase all those pencil marks. And if you do like my Easter projects, I really wonder which one is your favorite. Have you created any of the projects I shared with you? If you have, which one did you make? Please let me know in the comments down below. As I told you, this is 10 days of Easter projects this year, so I'm going to have more videos coming your way for the next couple of days, and you don't want to miss them because if you watch all of them, comment, and check all the rules for my giveaway, you can get my colorful Easter digital collection. So now it is time to place it here, but then I thought let's make it even more professional. I'm going to cut the scrap here, make it slightly narrower, then fold it. So this way it's going to look like a real bow, which I think is so cool. Again, I'm going to use my liquid glue and assemble those panels together. Super easy, right? So, if you do like making boxes, I really hope you will feel inspired and create your own version. And as I told you, it doesn't have to be Easter, it can be for any other occasion. And there is plenty of space to put anything inside, including sweets. So now I'm going to turn the bow because I've got one of the sides a little bit more flat, which I think is really cool. So when this is ready, our box is complete and I think it is so cool, right? So if you like it, please let me know in the comments down below. It is time to put the lid on and you can see the finished project. What do you think about it? Would you like to try to make it? I really hope you will. It is so much fun to do it and I gave you all the measurements. Thank you so much for watching and spending that time with me. Don't forget to like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And don't forget that tomorrow I'm going to have another Easter project for you. So stay tuned for all this inspiration. Have a wonderful day and happy crafting!